It is Wednesday, February 23rd, 2022, and from the home studio in Middletown, Delaware, I'm Marshal Manlove from Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. And as you can tell, I have brought some people with me to talk sports. Usually, I don't have them right on the air. You guys are now on the screen. We are live, and welcome to members of the William Penn Colonial wrestling team from Newcastle, Delaware. And their pictures are kind of shifting back and forth all around. Currently, though, on the upper row in the center is head coach Joe Arcangelo. Hello, Joe. You are not Ingrid Yerger, as it says in your picture there. But say hello.
That's correct.
That is your wife, I understand, right?
Yes.
Yeah, congratulations. I know you are newly wed, as am I. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is. Congratulations to you too as well, sir.
Thank you so much. All right, we'll go around the screens here and find out who everybody is. To the upper left-hand corner of the screen is Kendrell. Kendrell, unmute yourself, say hello, tell me how old you are, what grade are you in?
How you doing? I'm Kendrell Mason, 17 years old, currently a senior, and I've been wrestling here for 4 years. Just trying to make the best of it.
Awesome, and you are doing a good job of that too, and we'll find out more about how good of a job you're doing in a moment. In the upper right-hand corner, near my head, there is Tommy Murray. Tom, unmute yourself, say hello. How old are you? What grade are you in?
Hello, I'm Thomas Murray, and I am a senior at William Penn High School. And I'm excited for the future. This season's been great. Yeah.
All right. And the bottom left there, Danny Sinclair, same thing. Unmute yourself, say hello. How old are you? What grade are you in?
How you doing? I'm Danny Sinclair. I'm a junior at William Penn High School. This is my third year wrestling.
And magically you jumped up to the upper right-hand corner. You guys can't see that, I don't think, but you'll see it later. In the bottom row, in the center, Patrick Hunter, are you there?
Yeah, my name's Patrick Hunter. I've been at William Penn for 4 years. Been wrestling since my freshman year. Just can't wait until, season's kind of over. I'm kind of hungry, so.
Yeah, we're going to talk about food a little bit here in the next half hour or so. And then assistant coach Banks, and I don't want to mess up your name. Tell me how you pronounce your first name. Say hello and talk about yourself a little bit there, Coach. Are you there?
Coach Banks, you there? Yeah.
Might not be.
There
he
Hello.
is. Hello.
There he is.
Hey, this is Coach Banks, assistant coach. Been at William Penn for 5 years.
That's so wrong, Kyrie. Guys, jokers.
Okay, so the William Penn Colonials, Blue Hen Conference champions, as determined at the Blue Hen Conference Championship this past weekend. Boy, the pictures are just floating all over the screen here. It's trying to figure out where everybody's going. It's like musical chairs. Okay, we got a couple people in the screen over there with Coach Banks. All right.
Okay, cool.
So, Coach Arcangelo, talk about the championship this past weekend, the Blue Hen Conference Championship. What went right for you that you were able to claim the championship?
Well, we had a group of young men who came in and they were on a mission. After a really tough dual meet season, we knew that going into the Blue Hen Conference Finals Championship tournament that we were defending champs, and we were determined to bring that trophy back home to William Penn. And the kids did outstanding. We had 14 weight classes, and we qualified 11 to this weekend's DIAA State Wrestling Tournament, which will be held down at Cape Henlopen High School. And our guys have been working extremely hard, and they're ready to go.
So everybody that you brought here today is going to wrestle in that championship. And so explain how everybody got qualified to wrestle in the individual state championships there, Coach.
The Blue Hen Conference is a qualifying tournament for all the Newcastle County public schools. The Independent Conference also is the private school qualifier. And then we have the Henlopen Conference, which is downstate Smyrna, all the way to the beach. They also had a qualifier. The top 4 kids in each weight class qualify for the DIAA State Wrestling Individual Tournament. And then the DIAA State Wrestling Committee, if you will, we seed those weight classes. We did this past Sunday. We ranked the kids from 1 to 16. Obviously, only 12 kids in all three conferences qualify, and then we pick 4 wild cards to finish out each bracket to make it 16. So we were just blessed to be able to have a great showing by our young guys. We had a great fan base, and it really showed over at AI High School this past weekend. So we're super excited about the possibilities of putting some guys on the podium and maybe crowning a few state champions this weekend.
All right. So Kendrell, what weight class are you in, and what's your seed going into the tournament this weekend?
I'm wrestling 152, and they gave me the 9th seed going into the DIAA state tournament.
And I always thought that 152 was probably one of the toughest divisions. At that age group, I think those are probably the most athletic of the wrestling weight classes. And that's not to take away from any other classes. It's just that the size of the kids and the age at that point, and because they're in such good shape, I always found that to be one of the tougher ones. So the fact that you got up there too in the 9th seed says a lot about you, I would say there, Kendrell. So Kendrell, did you wrestle 152 all year, or did you go down, go up at all?
So it was a struggle at the beginning. I had to cut from around 180 at the beginning of the season. We looked at the lineup and just seeing where we had some potential holes, and I just made the commitment and made the cut.
That's a lot of weight to cut.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
It was. It was a struggle once again, but once you discipline, I mean, nothing can stop you. Nothing can get in your way.
Yeah, so I know that guys are kind of mandated to cut weight a little differently than they did maybe 20 years ago or so, right, Coach?
Yeah, that's correct, Marshall. The guys start out with a dissension plan in October, November. Back when, now they had 7% body fat they're allowed to compete at. And Kendrell had the body fat to cut down the weight. And he was a 171 pounder last 3 years. So he decided and spoke with his family, and they decided it was a good plan. And obviously we were excited about the opportunity for him to get down healthy. It was a struggle for him in the beginning. Now he's got it down and maintained, and he's probably one of the strongest kids at that weight class right now.
So it seems like I'm spending a lot of time on Kendrell here, but this kind of brought up, I had a question about this in my mind coming in here, and all you guys can talk about this. You need a lot of strength. Obviously, you need the stamina. So you run around all day, you wrestle all day, but you need the physical strength as well to compete against, even though they're guys in your own weight group. How much weightlifting do you do, and then how does it affect your ability to cut weight if you need to cut weight?
So, I mean, previously I've lifted weights a lot, but as time has gone, I started to die down. When I was heavier, around like the 180s, 170s, I did lift weights frequently, around 4 times a week. But after that, it just made the weight cut easier. A lot of cardio. You just shift it all to cardio, to be honest, and watching what you eat and what you put into your body.
Okay. All right. Good answer.
Yes, sir.
Because lifting weights, you put on weight that way. Obviously, I mean you're in better shape, but
yes, sir.
That's kind of has to be tricky to balance. So let's go to in the upper center there currently is Danny Sinclair. Danny, what weight class are you going to compete in for the championship this year?
I'm wrestling 138 this year.
And congratulations. I understand that you are the number 1 seed going in there.
Yes, sir.
Good for you. And
Thank
you're a tough kid. You beat a real tough kid who's actually going to be the number 1 seed in the weight class above you from the Division I championship team at Cape Henlopen, Mikey Frederick. And he's a senior too. So talk about the match where you went up against him and how'd that go and talk about that match for you. We know how it went. You won.
I mean, I just treat it as any other match. I know I'm going to have a tough opponent. I was getting myself psyched for the match, getting warm, getting ready. I went out there and I wrestled, and I just trusted my ability, and I won.
And so this is your junior year, and how did you fare in the state the last couple years?
My freshman year, I was ranked 4th going into states. I didn't place coming out, though. And then the following year, I didn't want to repeat what had happened previously, so I worked harder and I made the finals. And then again, that wasn't good enough, so I'm continuing to work harder and harder and harder, and the plan is to win this year.
So is it fair to say that, look, in all of our lives, we run up against, we lose occasionally, right? Even
Yes,
the guys who win the most suffer loss at some point. Well, how do you deal with it? How have you dealt with it? How have you used that to propel yourself to where you are this year?
I mean, depending on how important the match is, of course it's going to hurt more than maybe another loss, but I really take every loss as a learning experience. I walk off the mat every time just knowing what I could have done better and what I could have done differently, and I kind of just use it to, continue to progress.
Good for you. Tommy Murray. And what weight class are you wrestling, Tom?
I'll be wrestling 113 in the state tournament.
And what seed are you going in?
I'm 5th seed.
Yeah, awesome. That's good, man. Wrestlers are tough. I admire wrestlers. When I started broadcasting sports a long time ago, I worked with a wrestler, and Coach, you know him, is D. Meyer. You remember him? He's an All-American wrestler.
Absolutely, yeah. Dean's a great guy, and man, talk about hard worker. Oh.
Yeah, and you have to be, because for 6 minutes, somebody's trying to beat you up, choke you out, right in front of a whole bunch of people. It's you and someone else in front of a whole bunch of people. And Tommy, when you started, how long have you been wrestling?
I've been wrestling for around 8 years.
And so I just explained something that I believe is unique about your sport. It's like boxing in that sense too. You're one-on-one with somebody, a whole bunch of people watching. How do you get prepared to deal with the being the center of attention in an arena where somebody's trying to, whoop you up?
I would say I kind of like the if a crowd is very loud, I like that because it makes the match more intensified. It makes me work a little bit. That it gives me a little notch of energy. That especially in the third period gives you that little notch of energy to go a little further when you got either a whole crowd cheering for you or a whole crowd cheering against you. No matter what, it just gives you that little spark.
And let's see, you were 5th last year, and you were 5th. You're going in. You're 5th last year, and the Blue Hen Conference champion in 2020. Congratulations. What's your competition going to be like there, Tommy? Who you think you're going to run into?
I know who I'm going to run into. The brackets had came out, and I think I'm sitting in the bracket exactly where I want to be. I got the Amy River kid first, and then I got a rematch against Meadows from conferences. And then I have Eddie Radecki, who is the number 1 seed, which I think we all of us in the top 5 match up perfectly.
Yeah, Radecki's was a state champion last year, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe it'll be you this year, man. I'm
Thank
pulling for you because now I know who you are. Patrick Hunter, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. And you're a senior. What weight class are you in there, Pat?
126.
Is it okay if I call you Pat, or do you prefer Patrick?
That's fine. Yeah, Pat's fine.
Okay. What do you like about wrestling?
I mean, I never really thought I'd like it, but then like just the motivation that you have to put in and all the work, and it's basically just you. I mean, you can't really blame your team if you lose.
This is true. This is true. But while it's an individual sport, what's kind of unique about the conference championships, and once again, thankfully in the individual state rep championships, is that there are team points that you can earn even if you don't have a good day maybe and somebody does beat you. As long as you maybe don't get pinned or you don't get a tech fall against you, you can still keep your team competitive, right?
Yeah, like my coach said, don't ever give up bonus points. Bonus points matter.
So tell me about your coach. What does he mean to you?
I mean, he means a lot. I mean, ever since freshman year, I mean, I've definitely got better ever since then.
And how long have you been wrestling?
Since 6th grade, so about 7-8 years.
Oh wow. Any other sports for you?
Nah, that's about it. Just wrestling.
Anybody else? Any other guys into any other sports, or you just wrestle year round?
I'm not in any other sports, but I do think it's important. I mean, I could consider wrestling all year round as multiple sports because it takes a lot of dedication.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Kendrell, how about you?
Played football in the past and ran track as well, but this year is just strictly wrestling, strictly business.
Awesome. Danny, how about you?
After wrestling season, I enjoy playing lacrosse.
Yeah, okay. So is for all you guys who are wrestling, is wrestling in your future after high school, do you think?
Probably not.
Not for Pat, okay.
I believe in my future, I probably will become a coach.
Okay. Danny?
I mean, I'd love to go to college, and I think wrestling would be a very important step to get me there. I wouldn't mind a scholarship.
Kendrell?
Don't get me wrong. I have passion for the sport. I just don't see myself competing at the next level.
Okay. That's fine. It's tougher in any sport than people think, and Coach can tell you that. What are these guys who are thinking about perhaps competing collegiately going to need to do or consider if they want to get there and do that?
I was one that wrestled out of high school, and I was a multi-sport guy. Football, I played baseball, I ran track, cross country, but wrestling was the one thing I did all year round. And it prepared me for college. Obviously, the classwork is a big deal for these guys. They have to have the studies, and wrestling is just a tool to get them there, but they have to have those academics where they need to be. When you get into college and you're wrestling at any level, whether it's Division 3, 2, 1, or any of the other college programs out there, it's a commitment. And these guys have been wrestling at the high school level for 4 years, especially at a high level. They get that commitment. They know what that's about. And then when they go on to college, it's probably times 2. And it takes a real special athlete to be able to do that. And I think any one of these guys that are here tonight, if they wanted to wrestle at the college level, they all have that ability to do so.
All right. And Coach Banks, are you still there? Can't tell. Are you there?
He's probably muted. I wouldn't worry about Coach Banks right now.
All right. Well, I'll ask you the question I was going to ask him. I'll ask you the question I was going to ask him. What are the assignments that he has on this team helping you out as an assistant coach?
So Coach Banks, Bijan Banks is his name. He was an Edinburgh University graduate, and he is employed with the state of Delaware down at Lum's Pond. And I'll tell you, he is a phenomenal assistant coach. He's one of three guys. I have Dennis Frommel, who's an alumni of William Penn, and brings a whole lot of experience and history from William Penn wrestling days. He wrestled for William Penn. He graduated from William Penn, and the kids really respect him. And we also have a newcomer, Alex Haber, who was a William Penn graduate. He's also a teacher at a different school, but he also wrestled for William Penn. And all three of these guys bring a different flavor to the program. I'm a firm believer that, hey, if I'm going to have assistant coaches, they got to bring something different than me. The kids don't need five of me in there. Coach Banks puts a lot of work in with these guys. He was an assistant coach of the year back in 2020. He rallies them together and makes sure that these guys have transportation to wrestling clubs, wrestling tournaments. He gets them in the weight room. We are very blessed to have a guy like him on our staff, and I know he absolutely loves these kids and young men that we have, and he does a lot for them. So yeah, he wears many hats, Coach Banks, but mainly it's a lot of off-season training for these guys, weightlifting, running. He opens up the room for the Delaware Wrestling Club, which is at William Penn, on Sundays from 4 to 6. He's consistently there, and he works with all the kids, not just William Penn kids. So one of the prerequisites of having a club in Delaware in the off season is that you open up to everybody, and that we don't coach our kids, we coach the other kids, but our kids have the opportunity to train. And that's why we're moving in the right direction that we're moving, is because of the off-season training that Coach Banks puts these guys through.
Yeah, a vital component to the program there for sure, it sounds. So guys, during the middle of the season, how often do you get a chance to cheat on your meal plan? And if you do, so I'll ask it this way. Don't rat yourself out too much, though, okay? Let's put it this way. If you were to cheat on your meal plan, what is your go-to cheat meal?
So what I usually do is, like, if I have a match, and if we don't have, like, another match for, like, 3 or 4 days, I probably end up going out to eat to, like, Hibachi or Texas Roadhouse. But then if we have a match in, like, 2 days, then probably something small, like Chick-fil-A or something. That's about it.
Okay. Tommy?
Oh, we can't wait for this one.
Yeah. I mean, home cooked meals are always the best in my opinion. So after weigh-ins, I usually pack something that my mom made. Probably pulled pork or chicken parmesan is my favorite.
Nice. Kendrell?
This season, if I had to cheat, it was definitely Taco Bell. Taco Bell was the worst decision. Put on 5 pounds, but hey, it real good.
Hey, well, you can always find that you'll be cleared out before the match that way if you do choose Taco Bell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Danny, how about you?
I'd say I love cheating with just a basic fast food meal. Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, they were my favorite.
So tell me how this works. How long before the match do you have your official weigh-in?
Are you asking me?
Tommy, you were going to answer. Go ahead.
An hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours.
Okay, so then after you have your weigh-in, do you like immediately run and go get something to eat?
I actually had to figure out that does not work for me. So I have to eat a little bit, gain my energy back, get some liquids, and then finally wrap around to after my match eating and fully gaining that weight back.
Okay. How about for you other guys? How do you handle that after you weigh in?
Myself,
No, you go.
Myself personally is just like, it took a rhythm to find, but like Tommy said, I have to eat little by little. I only eat either raw vegetables, fruits, sometimes I go into meat before matches, but I just stick to nuts and fruits, to be honest.
Okay. Hmm. I didn't think you were going to lie to me. Pat, how about you?
I usually drink a Powerade and then have about 2 Snicker bars, and that's about my meal before my match. It's not really the best, but
Okay.
man, I love them things.
Don't we all? Come on, man. Danny, how about you?
Coach always said you need a little chocolate in your body to give you some energy. So, I mean,
Yeah.
That's true.
After a weigh-in, I try to drink as much water as possible, and then I'm right there with Pat. I'm all chocolate. I love my junk food.
Nice. So it's not torture like 168 hours a week. There is a couple opportunities now and then to have a treat and reward yourself, so to speak. Yeah, that's good. All right. So there's every successful sports program has a culture that is built over the years. It changes from coach to coach sometimes. Maybe sometimes it doesn't. It depends on the program. That people from the outside looking in don't really understand. It could be habits that you have, rituals, traditions, anything like that. Is there anything like that that you guys can talk about? You think of off the top of your head?
I think definitely the team being more laid back with like clothing we wear to wrestle. So like the pajama pants, you'll always see a William Penn kid in pajama pants, running out. And I think we just try to relax and get that energy or the nervousness out of our stomach before our matches. So we try to stay laid back a little bit, and then once it gets close to the match, start getting ready and just go out there and defeat on the mat.
All right. And have you had many people been able to come out and watch you wrestle? I mean, I think it was one of you. I think it was Tom who talked about how he enjoyed having the people yelling and screaming in the stands. How's that been, Coach?
Oh, it's getting better. We were limited this year with 2 fans per wrestler, and I know some school districts were allowed to have more than that. We went over to Pennsylvania this year, up in Chambersburg. We, getting back to what you said earlier, Coach, about tradition and history with our program. There's only been a few coaches at William Penn, and one of the things I grew up watching William Penn, watching Coach Holloway, and Jim Zimmerman was a coach after him, and Marvin Dooley. We've had some really good people in the program, and not to mention parents behind it. But ultimately, it's scheduling and getting good teams on our schedule and wrestling good tournaments. And so that's one thing that our coaching staff really got to back to when we took over 5 years ago. This year, we went all the way out to Chambersburg. It was about a 3-hour drive, 52 Pennsylvania teams, and us and Smyrna were the only 2 Delaware teams in it. So for me, it's about giving our guys the best opportunities to meet that competition, to help prepare them and get them back to Delaware where they can compete against the Blue Hen Conference. And then hopefully one day the IAA Dual Meet State Championship will come home to William Penn. It's been a long drought since 2000. It's been 22 years since we've held that title. So we're always going to work towards that, whether we accomplish that or not. Our guys are going to come in and prepare for that. But yeah, we have a long history of wrestling, and the number one thing is the community involvement, and we're getting all that back, and it's coming together really nice, and it's due to the kids that are coming to William Penn. Patrick and Tommy, Danny, Kendrell, these guys are all products of our middle school programs, and they represent the Colonial School District extremely well.
So I was happy to see you get that job 5 years ago, because I know that you've always been very, very involved in local wrestling, and you're passionate about it. What are some of the challenges that the program potentially faces, or maybe just wrestling in general these days?
Well, the challenges up here in northern Newcastle County is we have about 14 different high school programs out there that our middle school kids can choose coming out of 8th grade. So whereas, 20 years ago, maybe we had 6 schools, with the St. George's, and you got Caravel and Sally's and St. Mark's. You got Wilmington Charter, St. Lee's, it's Delaware Military Academy, Conrad. So there's just a lot of different choices for these guys and gals to pick from. So one of the challenges we have is, hey, we want people to know that we have really good academic programs here at William Penn. Our sports programs are second to none. Our facilities are a little dated, but we are working on that. And we are hoping that in the near future that we will get some more funding from, the state of Delaware, and we get some facilities built, and that our kids in our school district will have some of the nice sports facilities and academic facilities that the kids in the Kent and Sussex County school districts all enjoy today.
Awesome. So we'll close up here in a minute. I just want to fill in any blanks that we missed there. Pat, I'll start with you. What are we missing? What should I know about anybody else who's joined us here today? Do you want to say something nice, something funny, something interesting, any of the sort? Are you there, Pat? Think about it.
My bad. I was using the bathroom. What were you saying?
Can't bleep that one out. Go ahead, Pat.
I mean, I can show you.
No, Pat, come on.
Just what am I missing here? Tell me something, anything funny, interesting, important about any of the other people who have joined us here today.
I mean, we all have our own personality, but we're all basically brothers. We all goof around, we all work serious, but basically having fun.
Awesome. Tommy, same question to you.
Not much. I mean, I'm glad I'm going to soak in these last 3 to 5 days as a William Penn wrestler and as a high school wrestler. I'm just going to soak in, spend time with my brothers and my coaches, and, end the season with a bang.
All right. Kendrell, same question to you.
I mean, my brothers, they helped me throughout this long journey of these 4 years. They watched my progress. They helped me progress. So it's just like Tommy said, I'm going to soak in these last moments and cherish it.
And Danny?
Yeah, same as what they said. It's been a long season, and just everyone on the team, it really is a brotherhood.
Awesome. And Coach, I'll finish up with you. Fill in any blanks there, anything that I'm missing.
No, just that they're a lot of fun. These kids, these young men are a lot of fun, and we enjoy the camaraderie that we all share. We do laugh a lot. We have a lot of fun, but when it's time to get busy and work, these young guys, they get after it. So I'm super proud of all of them, even the guys that aren't here today. We have, like I said, we're taking 11 down the states, and they've had a great run. Especially my seniors, and they're having a good week of practice, and just staying loose is the key. I'm going to miss all the seniors this year for sure.
Yeah, I can tell. So I got out of that there's definitely a family element and to your program there, and that starts from the top and works its way throughout the whole program. And I'm glad to see you have that success. I wish all of you guys success at the state championship, the individual state championships this weekend. Guys, I'm going to shut this down here in a minute. Just wave goodbye to those who are watching. Our number one fan is Joey V. Number two fan is my wife. She has made it up to number two and is now yelling at me for saying that she is only number two. Hang tight. There he is. There's Coach. There he is. What are you doing? Are they wrestling in there? Yeah, it looks like they're wrestling.
I don't know. I can't see it.
It's like they're in the wrestling room. Hey, man, that's dedication. All right?
Yeah,
that's right. That's how they're going to win.
Wrestling club going on.
All right, guys, hang tight. I am going to close down this show and then say goodbye to you off air. All right? Your mics will be live, so just give me a minute to shut this down, and I'll be right to you. All right?
Thank you. Thank you, Marshall.
All right. So those are the William Penn Colonials, the wrestling team, Blue Hen Conference champions again this year. And a bunch of them heading down to the individual state wrestling championships at Cape Henlopen this weekend. It is one of the most exciting high school wrestling championship events that take place throughout the course of the athletic scholastic year. If you have a chance to go down there and see it, I recommend it for sure. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been brought to you by me, Marshal Manlove, stage hypnotist. Let me see if I can pull this up successfully. Yes. If you would like an interesting, funny, memorable show, visit my website at marshalmanlove.com. You see all the information that you need to know about my particular show. And also, I want to thank the folks at Jazzercise in Middletown. They are kind enough to post up links to the videos that we shoot here in a Facebook group that they run for high school parents, athletes, parents. Finally got that out of my big trap. All right, let's get back to me there. I always hate when I go back to me. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that is it for this episode of Delaware Sports and My Sports Reports. Please subscribe, like, share. I appreciate it. Time for after dinner snack.